Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today to honor the treble choir of Woodbridge High School, which is the national, Woodbridge High School's choir program is nationally recognized. Every year they seem to come out with first place finishes and standing solos and sportsmanship awards and all kinds of things. It's under the direction of Lisa Romero. The reason we're here tonight is because at the Hispanic Heritage Festival in September on Main Street, right in front of Town Hall here, the choir spent a couple hours performing, I guess, Hispanic songs, and it was all under the direction of Councilwoman Lisbeth De Jesus, who helped us, basically ran the event with our help, and put the whole Hispanic Heritage Festival together, which ran in conjunction with the Main Street, St. James Street Fair. I'd like to introduce the councilors who's here to your far left. Debbie Meehan, 5th Ward Councilwoman covering Colonia, Vera Patel, 4th Ward Councilman covering Menlo Park Terrace and Island, Greg Ficara, Councilman at Large, Howie Bauer, 2nd Ward Councilman covering Ford, Hopelone, and Caseby, Sharon McAuliffe, 1st Ward Councilwoman covering Woodbridge Proper and Seawarren, Corey Spiller, the only one appropriately dressed in pink on a night that we should have all worn our pink shirts, but we just forgot to put the memo out. Council Vice President Corey Spiller, 3rd Ward covering Avenel and Port Reading. And the star of tonight's show, other than the choir members, Councilwoman Lisbeth De Jesus, who is at large. And I'd like to ask Lisbeth to come up now and take over the show and tell us all about the performance the choir did and everything you want to talk about, and then we'll give out proclamations.
Well, I think it's important to recognize that Hispanic Heritage Month is a national holiday. It became a national holiday under President Johnson in the 1960s. And for me, when I got elected or appointed to Woodbridge Township, it was important for me to make it a celebration in our township, recognizing the Hispanic community that lives here in Woodbridge. And I wanted to recognize the Woodbridge High School Choir because since we've been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Festival since 2015, they have always said yes to performing at it. And school starts usually like the first week in September, and we always try to do the festival anywhere from September 15th through October 15th. And in 3 short weeks, they're ready to perform a Spanish song in Spanish. Even those that don't speak Spanish fluently sound perfectly when they perform. And it's my way of saying thank you for representing and always being willing to celebrate the Hispanic community and taking, I believe, is a large task in making sure that they're ready and prepared to go in 3 short weeks. That says a lot about Director Romero. It says a lot about the students involved in the choir because they're dedicated themselves to learning the songs and to performing it, and they sound beautifully every single time that they come on stage. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for your presence there, that I count on you for years to come, whether I'm standing here or not, that I think that you guys should be something that you should continue to practice and undertake, because I think it's important for us to celebrate each other. It's hard for the schools to do anything big because, again, school starts in September, and Hispanic Heritage is celebrated September 15th to October 15th. So there's not a lot of time to get anything big and huge in the classrooms because they are just starting school. So that says, again, a lot, and you guys should be really proud, and your parents should feel really proud of you because you have managed in 3 weeks to speak fluent Spanish. Even though you're singing it, you have managed that. So I personally just want to say thank you, and I wanted to recognize you and for everyone to recognize the work that you do. We've had choirs from IMS perform, and the goal is always to have any choir from any of our schools say that they would like to do it, but sometimes I feel people are intimidated by the short amount of time that they have to get ready. And I'm so grateful that Woodbridge High School Choir is not intimidated to take on a foreign language and perform in front of a crowd of people on Main Street. You guys sounded beautifully, and I'm grateful.
Okay. Just want to correct one thing Councilwoman Lisbeth said. She said in the ensuing years, whether we're standing here or not, we're all going to be standing here a long time. A long time. I'd like to call up Lisa Romero and ask her to say a few words about this wonderful group of students and maybe what some of your recent accomplishments, some of the competitions you're heading to this year. Go ahead, take it away. You got a commercial for your terrific choir. Go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you so much, all of you, for having us here. We really enjoy performing for our community. Woodbridge High School has 6 different choirs, and treble choir performs a lot for the community and the other choirs as well. So it's really nice to be recognized, and these students are really deserving of that. So thank you so much for having us tonight. Yeah, commercial, I don't know. I mean, this group, treble choir, we meet every other day for an hour and a half. It's made up of all grades, and it is auditioned, so the students do have to audition to be accepted into the choir. Our competition trip this year is in Bristol, Connecticut. It's in May, so wish us luck on that. And I just feel really lucky that we're able to be such a big part of the community, and that and I'm very lucky for these students that are amazing, and they learn, like you said, learn Spanish in 3 weeks. It's a big task, but they did it. So thank you so much.
All right. All right. We can call you up one at a time. I see there's 5 of you here. Morgan Steed. Nope. Sophia Rodriguez. Congratulations. Lillian Regan. Congratulations. Emily Pojita. Congratulations. Michaela Olokoy. Stephanie Menjivar. Emily Cruz Saldivar. Oh, congratulations. Janae Bynum. Sayanda Bernard. Congratulations. Isabella Bedoya, not here. Oh, she is over there, I'm sorry. Congratulations. And Allison Baldwin. And Dorcasa Musa. All right, usually about this time I pick somebody to come up and talk and say a few words about the team. You are a team. I will ask for volunteers first before I pick somebody. I know you're probably not going to have any volunteers. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Come on up. Tell me about how long you've been in the choir, how it feels to be part of such a talented group. Tell me about your teacher. Tell me about your competitions. Go ahead. She had a commercial, now you have a commercial.
So this is my first year with treble choir, and since I've been here, they've all been so welcoming and stuff. I'm really grateful to have such wonderful peers and a director. There's so many new opportunities coming up. I'm really excited to see how our competitions go, and I'm excited to sing more pieces with my classmates.
So I bet you're very, very excited about going to Bristol, Connecticut. I mean, Bristol, Connecticut. What was Iowa taken? I mean, Bristol, Connecticut, you could go to Disney World, you can go to anywhere in Florida, you can go California, you can go to all these exciting... Next year might be Disney. All right. So do you know anything about Bristol, Connecticut? Because I don't.
No.
It's probably like 10 minutes away. It's probably right across the GW Bridge. What kind of trip is that?
It's upstate New York.
Upstate New York is? You would know. All right. Well, thank you very much. Good job. Great job. All right. Let's get the 6 of you in. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
But Director Romero, if you'd like to see her and her chorus, you can show up at the Avenue Very Merry Tree Lighting on Sunday, November 24th from 4 to 6, where thankfully she has been every year, her and her great group, so thank you very much.
All right.
Good evening. We'll call the special council meeting to order. Please rise and remain standing for a moment of silence for our military personnel service. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Mitch?
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. Council, the meeting this evening was for the intended purpose of adopting the fiscal year 25 municipal budget. We are not in a position at this moment to do so, so I would entertain a motion to continue this meeting until January 7th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and properly second. Have any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Also want to, I've already taken attendance, Mr. President, but we also have to open the meeting to the public at this time for any other subject matter. So with that said, can I get a motion to open the meeting to the public for any other comment?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open at this time for any other comment other than the budget.
Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to close the, motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Yeah, you're on. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Did you
Move to
close?
close, yes.
Yes.
Closed.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all we have at this moment, so I'll,
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night. Remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel serving abroad, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch?
requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning the meeting. The Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger published a notice on October 6, 2023. It was posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Bauer. Here. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Ficarra. Here. Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan. Here. Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small. Vice President Spiller.
Here.
And President Anderson. And I get a motion to approve the minutes from October 1st, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we'll take letter A, which authorizes the acceptance of a deed for an easement for drainage improvements at 149 Dunbar Avenue in Forest. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is also a second reading ordinances with regards to lead-based paint in rental dwelling units. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only.
Good evening, council, members of the staff, mayor. Can you expand on B, please, and exactly how is that going to impact any rental units within the township, which we have, as you know, many?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, this 3 units or more. Less. 3 units or less. It's really more of a, not a housekeeping issue. Mayor, Mr. Simmons, if you want to.
So it's a lead-based, lead paint inspection for rental units that are 3 or less family units, whether it be single or more, to do the inspection, one on a building side, where we're going to look at it as a part of a change for the rental, and the other, if we find anything, that will be turned over to the health department for further examination and remediation.
So,
That's
I understand you-
mandated by state law, correct?
And it's also completely, the cost is completely covered by grants.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I mean, that cost, when you say cost, it's cost to the township to do the inspections. Is that not true? Or is it, how is the landlord going to deal with this if they find that they have paint on an older unit that dwells 3 families or more?
They have to remediate. The remediation is fairly simple. It's covering the spots where you have the loose paint or removing it. But of course, you have to take the proper precautions when you do it.
Yeah, I was just looking at how it would be for the residents if the landlord has to come in and say, excuse me, I've got to get in and either vacate
We're
the
only
premises
gonna
right
inspect
now or...
on- Oh, I'm
Right.
sorry, Mr. Maris. We're only going to inspect on change of rental.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President?
Yes,
just
sir.
one thing. Mr. Semaluka, our health department has some pretty high-tech stuff, right, to detect this?
Correct.
I saw it at one of our, not this past health fair, but one before that, it was demonstrated. So
You're absolutely right.
State-of-the-art stuff, right? Not terribly intrusive to families when you're in the house, that kind of thing.
Yes, very true.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman
Are
Ficarra.
there any other comments from the public on this ordinance? Here are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letters C, D, and E are 3 first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on October 25th, 2024, with notice of public hearing to be held on November 12th, 2024, at 6 p.m.?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Finally, you have 37 resolutions before you listed as 1 through 37. Can I get a motion by consent to approve?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mitch, I'll be
Yes.
abstaining from number 37.
So noted. Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. We'll now go to the public portion of tonight's meeting. When approaching the microphone, please state your name and what section of the township or state you live in. You'll have a one-time opportunity to speak up to 5 minutes.
Once again, Tom Maris, Forest, New Jersey. God, it feels like I have not been here in a while, but I'm going to try to limit it to 3 questions. There's something going on right now, in fact, Patch just posted it, that apparently at Woodbridge High School, the vice principal there has been suspended. There's more to come on that. There's allegations, and I say that there are allegations, that he has inappropriately posted things on his own podcast, said inappropriate things to children in school, and I have to look at this. Is this another case of DEI rushing to get somebody in to fill a spot that turns out to be a bad apple? I know that's a tough question, and I'm not sure how you can even comment on it because it's still with the school board to take whatever action they need to take. So there may be legal prohibitions from you answering, but I'll pose the question nonetheless, and I want the public to know that that person has been suspended, not fired, but they were suspended, as far as I know, with pay. That's one question. There's this rumor going around, which we tried to quash today, that there's real concern about safety at our evening sporting events, especially at the football or anything else, and that some of these were going to be eliminated. From what I found out, that is not true. If anything, the township, the school board, and our police department have stepped up to beef up security so that people are being, no backpacks, no bottles bring into the to the event, and actually even taking screening. And anybody that may object to that, I would simply say to them, stay home, because you're in a safer environment, and our township is doing what it needs to do to make sure when you or your family are there, you're safe. There's an odor in, I'm actually going to make it 4, a very bad odor over in Caseby, which may be part from the dredging that's going on over there and the amount of soil that's being dredged out and put on the side. But I know there have been a lot of complaints. People are getting headaches. They're getting sick from it. I wonder if the township can adjust that. And then finally, unfortunately, it appears that we're going to have a lot of closing with the Walmart, which may affect, I think, 3 stores within our community, which will put a real impact on employment and also people's ability to get medications that they need. Are you looking into that, and what might we do to offset that? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maris. Just over your questions, Mayor, Mr. Suman, Luca, if you want to elaborate on anything that after I say. Questions 1 and 2, thank you for bringing it up. It's been said before, that's a school district matter. By all means, you're more than welcome to go to a school board meeting, which you have done faithfully in the past, and ask those questions. That's all I can offer you. As far as the odor, I have not heard of anything. I don't know if anybody else, Mayor?
There is a company down there that has an issue with odors. The DEP is involved. It's not anything to do with dredging that I know of. We have not heard of anything related to dredging odors. If that's the case, we'll follow up on that too, since we already have the DEP engaged on the first case.
Save your seat.
So we'll follow up on the dredging to see if that's accurate.
Thank you. I did hear there's a company too that was processing something, but whatever it may be, I know
They're
there's complaints.
definitely, they
Thank you.
definitely have an odor problem, and
Yes,
we're
sir.
all over that. I don't know about the dredging, but we'll ask.
Okay.
And I have not heard anything about Walmart.
Nothing.
Lucky.
I'm sorry, I didn't,
We have not heard anything about Walmart potentially closing. That's
no, it's all in the news now. There's 1,200 stores nationwide, and at least 3 of them are named that would affect
Sorry,
Woodbridge.
did you say Walmart or Walgreens?
I'm sorry, my misnomer. Walgreens.
Walgreens.
We don't need 3 Walmarts, trust me.
No, no, Walgreens. I'm sorry for the misnomer. Anyway, let's address that.
No, we haven't. And just real quick to your second point, we talked about the school district. I'm not speaking as council vice president or council, I'm speaking as a parent. I've had 2 go through Colonial High School. I've got my freshman boy in there, and whatever they want to do to enhance security and safety for the patrons and the children, I'm all for it. But
Totally agree. Thank you, sir.
thank you, Mr. Maris.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Let me see.
Do it right now.
Hi, Rashida Seawarren. I just have a quick question in regards to the Acacia. My daughter attends the Acacia in, Port Reading, and I had told a couple of the other parents about it, and they were looking to set up their children with the transportation. And one of the parents was told that they don't transport. Her son attends Island Middle School. So I don't know how true that is. I didn't call to try and find out any additional information about it, but is it that the transportation only transports from certain middle schools to Acacia?
Yeah, so Mayor?
So, Colonia walks to Colonia Youth Center, Colonia Middle School. Ford's walks to Highland Grove. Avenel is bused to Acacia. Woodbridge can be bused if there's demand, and Island Middle can be bused if there's demand. Last year, the demand ran out and we were not busing. If there is a demand, please get a petition quick and let me know, and we'll do what we can. But I don't know for a fact that it's not, but I assume you know.
Yeah, she called and her son attends Island, and she wanted him to go to the same one as my daughter, but they said that they didn't bus from Island
Yeah,
Middle School.
it's because of the lack of demand at Island Middle. But if there is a demand and the principal lets us know, we'd be happy to transport.
Okay. What would the demand have to be? Like how many parents would?
I don't know, but a bus holds, I think 16, probably a half dozen
Okay.
in that neighborhood. We'd probably transport 5 or 6 kids.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Any other comments from the public tonight?
Hi, I'm Jessica Mayer, Vivinetto, back again about Sequest. We've been working really hard the last couple of months to find out who's responsible for the oversight of Sequest, and we're now asking for someone to help us understand who's responsible for the safety of the public and the animals. We are requesting a face-to-face meeting with the members of this council. This lack of oversight and responsibility has gone on far too long without any answers or resolution. Perhaps you're thinking we will give up and just go away, but that's not going to happen. Woodbridge has an opportunity to be on the side of righting a wrong. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Sequest is a national problem. Each of the locations have the same issues of neglect and death. Woodbridge is part of a national campaign that, excuse me, that casts a dark cloud over towns that harbor sequests. Woodbridge is now getting national attention as a town that supports animal cruelty. When we were last here, we talked with you about the fishy kisses, the procedure that's illegal in New Jersey salons that are overseen by the Board of Cosmetology. A member of the public submitted a complaint about the fishy kisses to the Woodbridge Health Department, who then referred the complaint to the Board of Cosmetology. When our attorney submitted a complaint to the Board of Cosmetology, they referred her back to the Health Department. Why is there this disconnect? When it comes to farm animals, the farm permit was signed off on by the Woodbridge Board of Health. Yet we were told by the Board of Health that the Department of Agriculture is responsible. And then the New Jersey Department of Agriculture passed us along to Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services. We filed our complaints with Jim Oxley at the Department of Fish and Wildlife, with the New Jersey Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services. Again, we are publicly requesting a meeting with you so you can hear all of the information that we have that 5 minutes can't give to you. Our protests continue every other week, and we will urge shoppers to avoid Sequest and Woodbridge Mall and shop at Menlo instead. Thank you.
Council President.
Yes, Mr. Simon.
I'd like to give her some direction, and I hope this helps her. There's a few things, there's a few pieces to this. The first piece of this, the folks that oversee the animals are Fish, Game, and Wildlife. That's who oversees it. We have a portion of it. There's a small snack concession, which our health department will inspect, and they do it on a biannual basis or annual basis. And as needed, if we get complaints about the food for humans only. We will also, if there's an animal concern, they do go out and look at the animal concern and report it back to Fish, Game, and Wildlife. We have no jurisdiction as far as the animals are concerned. As far as the Office of Cosmetology, they were reached out, they were spoken to, they sent an email to the group. I don't know if you were on that email, but we received that email from the Office of Cosmetology, or the Department of Cosmetology, from the state saying that they do not license any Sequest facility, so they are not responsible and they're not the governing body over that. So I know they use the word pedicure, but I think, I don't want to say, I think that's more of a gimmick than a real pedicure. So that's a different issue, but they do not oversee, the Office of Cosmetology does not oversee the Sequest. So I hope that clears it up for you.
Thank you, Mr. Simuluka.
Mr. President, the young lady, I'm sorry I didn't catch her name. She requested to meet with council. If yourself or council president is going to put a committee together, I'd be happy to sit down and listen to what they have to say.
I would too. Me too.
Hello, I'm Carrie Espuga from Seaside down in South Jersey. Thank you for answering that question, because that was my request as well, to sit down regarding Sequest. And for those of you who don't know, Sequest is the interactive zoo, petting zoo in the Woodbridge Center Mall. So I just wanted to highlight a few of the violations. For example, NewJersey.com, they had reported that Sequest was cited more than 80 times in the last 5 years by different government agencies. 80 citations. So that's huge. And the reports, like New Jersey Fish and Wildlife that you mentioned, they have already given a 32-page violation, mostly bites, inadequate animal handling, inadequate care of the animals. For example, out of 50 of the exotic animals, they only had the vet records for 18 of them. So they're not getting enough adequate care for the animals. And then, of course, there's a risk to the children, because if the animals are not held by the head and the tail, Of course, they can hurt the children, bite the children, spread disease, and if somebody's compromised at home, say a child gets salmonella, and they go home and there's somebody in the home that's immunocompromised, the disease can spread. So diseases can go from animals to humans, from humans to humans. So it's not just about animal cruelty, which we all know is happening based on 80 citations, but also the possible spread of disease, which is why those pedicures, Sequest calls them the fishy kisses, that's why they're illegal in New Jersey, because of the spread of diseases. If it's a fish who's got a disease, and you put your feet in the tank with the fish and they bite the skin, that causes diseases to possibly go in the skin. So they're illegal in New Jersey, so we want them to stop in the Woodbridge Mall so kids aren't putting their feet in tanks with biting fish because of possible disease spreading. Let's see, PETA already put in a 19-page complaint. We went over that already, mostly due to lacks of animal handling, public safety, animal cruelty, neglect, death. The USDA, of course, they also have their citations, injuries, bites, inadequate handling. So there's a pattern here about bites, inadequate handling. They don't have enough staff, so we don't know if it's because they don't want to pay for more staff. But when visitors go there, picture your child interacting with an iguana or an exotic species, and there's no staff in sight. No staff in sight, and kids are touching the exotic reptiles. So that's why we keep coming back. We just want to spread the word, get the word out there, keep the children safe, keep diseases from spreading, and stop the animal cruelty. So we're requesting a meeting, so thank you so much for agreeing to that. We'll go over all the details, but thank you for taking that next step. We really appreciate it.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Good evening, Nicole Paternoster, Avenel. So I actually wasn't going to say anything tonight. I was, and I really appreciate you agreeing to meet with us. But the idea or putting that word out there that what Sequest is doing with the fish pedicures as a gimmick is really sending what is really a misnomer. Because we're allowing something, yes, it's not a licensed salon. I think we are well aware of that. But we're allowing something to happen in an aquarium, in a mall, that we will not allow to happen in a licensed salon. And so say that's a gimmick, it's kind of, if you read about it, you would realize that's not true. So just some examples. Multiple documented health issues related to fish pedicures, first being bacterial infections. One of the most serious concerns involves bacterial infections. In 2011, UK stopped allowing people to do fish pedicures because of the bacteria that was being spread. This bacteria can cause skin infections that are difficult to treat and may require long courses of antibiotics. Toenail loss, a little closer to home, New York City, 2018. A woman, after a fish pedicure, her toenail shed completely. Her doctors believe that this was triggered by the fish pedicure, as the fish likely caused trauma to the nail beds. Hepatitis and HIV concerns, while there's been no documented case, people will bleed or have open sores when they go in and put their feet in. So I talked about 2 weeks ago when I was here, there's no way that they are cleaning this water out between every patron. And how are you sanitizing a fish's mouth? You are not. So people are sticking their feet in a place where other people had open wounds perhaps, were bleeding from this fish pedicure. So there's no way to disinfect. Fungal infection, several reports have surfaced about fungal infections such as athlete foot, since the tanks and fish cannot be properly sanitized, and outbreaks of waterborne disease. Again, right before it was not allowed in the UK, there was a cluster of infections reported among customers. So I don't want to put that language out there that this is a gimmick. People are putting their feet, their bare feet, into a tank of fish who are only given one meal a day, so they will be hungry enough to eat skin off a patron's feet. So I just want to speak on that because I don't want that language to be out in the public that this is just something fun for your kids to do or for you to do. So if I can't go to a licensed salon and get this done by someone who's been trained in it, why can't I just dip my feet in a mall aquarium? Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments this evening?
Mr. Nolan?
Just to follow up, thank you for your comments. You know, as we've said, unfortunately, we don't have jurisdiction over cosmetology or in general in the facility itself, so we can only do as much as we can do.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening? Hear another comment, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll go into the agenda session.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. President Anderson is excused. We'll go into my agenda. I can't believe I'm even saying it. Item number 1, Avenel's Very Merry Holiday Lighting is approaching. Save the date for November 24th. It is normally the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, but the way the calendar falls, it will be the Sunday before. That's at the Avenel Firehouse, so stay tuned for more information. The rest of my agenda is in order. Just a couple announcements. It's Halloween, that time of year. School 9's Trunk or Treat will be Monday, October 28th from 5 to 6 at the School 9 parking lot. So come in your costume. And the next night, Councilman Small's baby is, pardon me while I find it, is the Port Reading First Aid Fire and Volunteer Fire Company. Their trunk or treat is on October 29th from 6 to 7:30. That's going to be located across the street from Port Reading Firehouse. Please bring a toy to donate to the Children's Hospital. The rest of I already said that. No further announcements. God bless America. Councilman Ficarra.
Just a couple of quick announcements. First, a couple of thank yous. Our youth services, under the direction of Jen Stokel, had a vaping seminar, the issues of vaping last Wednesday, I believe it was, over at Acacia. I wish it was a little bit better attended, and I wish we televised it because it was very informative. The dangers of vaping and the way that kids are kind of sucked into that, and what some of the teachers are doing, and also on the good side is the good work our police department and our health department are doing to help combat it, because it's very serious, it's very unhealthy. And again, thank you to our youth services. Also to our health department, outstanding job with our health expo this past Saturday. Besides some of the medical testing that was going on, there were some great vendors there. There was some healthy cooking demonstrations, and it was just a good, informative event all the way around, and very well attended, by the way. A lot of medical, everything from insurance to ways to combat some of the flus and things that are coming our way. So kudos to our health department. And then I'll end on a fun thing. We talked about Halloween. We still have, till Halloween, haunted miniature golf behind our community center. There's a fabulous golf course there, and the adults are only $9. Children and senior citizens like me are only $7. And it's open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 9. And it's a great family thing. I went over there with my grandkids. So that's all I have, Council Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ficarra. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Agenda's in order. I have a few announcements. Forest Business Committee next flea market will be held on Sunday, November 3rd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our public parking lot located next to the VFW on 411 New Brunswick Avenue in Fords. Also, all our fire districts are looking for a few good men and women to become volunteers. Make a difference in your community. If interested, call me at 732-887-9796, and I will steer you the right way. God bless all our first responders, and God bless America. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you, Councilman Bauer. Councilman Smalls excused. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Thank you, Council Vice President. My agenda is in order. I just have a few announcements. First, Police Community Relations. I want to give a big shout out to our Police Community Department. They did a fantastic job with Coptoberfest. The weather was gorgeous. The park was full of families. And you know, when we do events in our township, we want families to come out. I thought it was fantastic. It was outstanding. Mike Harris and Santoni did a great job in getting all the vendors, all the donations, just putting the event together. It was a great family day at Parker Press. And again, it was a great event, and I hope that they continue doing it. Aside from National Night Out, because I enjoy seeing all the families. And my little girls, they'll always be my little girls, my 22 and my 16-year-old got to ride a horse. So, I mean, they were upset with Greg because Greg called the 22-year-old out, but they really enjoyed it. They enjoyed walking around and just partaking in everything. So again, great job. Item number 9, the Barron Arts Center, they have 2 events coming up. One is, and I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce this right, but that's okay, the Prolit Cult Poetry Circus Big Hammer Magazine release party, music by Burnt Tavern, hosted by Dave Roscoe's. It will be Sunday, October 27th at 2 p.m. and it's open reading. And then Poets Wednesday, for any writers out there, Poets Wednesday at the Barron Arts Center will meet the second Wednesday of every month. The next one will be Wednesday, November 13th from 8 to 10 p.m. Feature readers Dan Weeks and Mike Walters, and then followed by December 11th. For more information, please contact Deborah LaBeglia at 908-272-3141, or just call the Barron Arts Center, and I'm sure that they'll give you more information. Again, if you're into poetry and you're writing and you want to be heard, this is a great place to try it out. The Woodbridge Public Library will host the Alborada Spanish Dance Theater, remembering Paul Robeson, Spain, 1938, a history presentation with dance demonstrations on Sunday, November 10th at 2:30 p.m. in the main library meeting room. The program is free and is open to the public. And mark your calendars for the first Central Jersey Book Festival, which will be held on Saturday, November 16th from 11 to 5 at Ross Street School. More than 50 authors of children's, teen, and adult books will be available to sign their books, including some local celebrities. Entry is free for the public. All the libraries will be collecting new and gently used coats to support a code drive sponsored by the Rotary Club of Woodbridge, Perth Amboy, for local distribution. Again, 2 great events if you want to be a poet or if you want to be a writer. There's events that are free if you want to attend here in Woodbridge Township, and that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jesus. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. Last week, as most of you have already heard, 2 families in Colonia lost their homes due to a devastating fire that started in one of the houses and quickly spread to the second home. Thank God the families were able to escape injury, but one of the families lost their 3 beloved animals. Due to the magnitude of the damage sustained to their homes, both of these families lost everything, leaving them homeless. Before the flames were even extinguished, and as the family stood there in horror and disbelief, in the only clothes they had left, and without shoes on their feet, the community of Colonia came out forced to rally around these 2 families, bringing them clothes, gift cards, meals, and monetary donations. I've met with these families over the past week, as they've dug through what was left of their homes, pulling out small items like a family cookbook, an old picture, small things that were intact by the grace of God, as if they were treasures worth millions of dollars. It just proves that the small things in life that matter to us can't be replaced. They're the ones that mean the most. The families wanted me to thank, The families wanted me to, it's been a long week.
Take your time.
The families wanted me to thank the community for their unwavering kindness and love and unending support from family and friends to complete strangers. You were all their light during their time of darkness, and you will be their hope as they move forward to rebuild their lives. I'd like to thank the Woodbridge Township Fire Departments that worked at the scene that day, risking your own lives to put out the fire and to make sure everybody was safe. Thank you to the police officers and all the first responders that were on duty that day to help oversee the activities surrounding the fires. It was truly a group effort. I'd also like to thank Nikki, the owner of Ciro's Pizza in Colonia, that quickly put a fundraiser together from her pizzeria to help these families that she never even met. Donations are still being accepted for the families. If you would like to donate, you can make a check payable to the Mayor's Woodbridge Community Charity Fund, which can be mailed to 1 Main Street in Woodbridge, 07095. Again, thank you for everybody that came out to help these families. It takes a village, and our community is truly a village, so thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Nicely given. Ken.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
You know what? I think that Debbie is an unsung hero because you mobilized right away, and you mobilized everyone that you knew, and went out there and helped the families, and you have been with them since the beginning. So to whom much is given, much is expected, and I think you lead by example. So I want to thank you because you do a great job, not only for the Colonia community, for all of Woodbridge Township whenever there is an unfortunate event like this. So thank you.
Nicely put, thank you. Councilman Patel.
Thank you, Council President, Vice President. My agenda is also in order. I have just one announcement. This year, the Indian community is having the Diwali and New Year, which is coming next week. Diwali is actually coming on next Friday, October 31st, and the New Year is on Saturday, November 1st. So wishing you all a happy Diwali and a happy New Year. That's all.
Thank you, Councilman Patel. Councilwoman McCall.
Thank you, Council Vice President. My agenda is in order. I just have an announcement that this Thursday, October 24th, from 5 to 7, we'll be having, the police department will be functioning a trunk or treat at Woodbridge Mall from 5 to 7 by solar panels. So come out, get your kids in your costumes, come out and get some candy, and have a good time. And I would also like to reiterate what Elizabeth said, that the Coptoberfest was amazing. I know several of the other council people were there. There were lots of families there, and that was an amazing event in downtown. And Parker Press is a perfect place for that. And now that we redid Parker Press, we should look at doing a lot more functions there because it's really a great park for a lot of things to happen. So that's all I have. Thank you. God bless all of our servicemen and women for a successful mission and a safe return home. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman McCall. Mr. Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will be noting letters 1A and 1B as you approve the structure change for Highgate Hotels and the transfer liquor license in Island this evening. Just one other comment with regards to the upcoming general election. Please be reminded that early voting starts here this Saturday at the Acacia Center, 95 Fort Benning Avenue in Woodbridge. Polls will be open 10 a.m. daily for that 9-day period till 8 p.m. with the exception of Sundays till 6 p.m. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. I know I've got a couple questions. You brought it up several meetings ago. There is in-person voting at School 4 and 5 during normal hours using the door on South and that door. Thank you. Administration Finance, Mr. Simaluka.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I have one item on my agenda for this evening. I have a tax court judgment. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Director Hubman.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I have a number of traffic ordinances. Thanks.
Thank you, Director. Director Dorr.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Brewer.
Thank you, Council President. I have two items. First one is a resolution to execute the final change order contract 2023-012. That's for Ibn Jordan Road in Colonia, intersection improvements. And the second one is a resolution for the final change order, contract number 2023-013, and that's for the Sports Park pickleball court project. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Brewer. Nagel.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Meeting. Have a good night. Thank you.